Kamui versus Gintoki. When you think about it, that is a fight that has been built up for hundreds of chapters and hundreds of episodes. Because that was at the time when Hosen, first popped up in the series, and now this is happening. I need this. I really need this fight. I really do. I definitely needed this fight, because that is something I wanted to see for a long time. We knew it was coming, but now to actually see it going to be happening next week, oh my god, that's going to be fucking badass. Kamui as a character, I really didn't care much about him. I liked his voice actor, I liked what he did, I liked his fights, but overall, I didn't really care much about the character. Like, I wasn't emotionally connected to him. And this episode shed some light on Kamui and what made him to what he is today, and why he acts like he does. I really enjoyed this episode, and honestly, after watching this episode and seeing Kamui's character getting fleshed out, I was like, oh shit, like, he has moved up into, like, my top 10 favorite characters of Gintama now, just because of this episode, just seeing why he is like he is, and him questioning what is strength. And I want to be completely blunt here, the whole concept of questioning what is strength is something I have seen before in many other manga and shonen in general. However, the way Gintama delivered this in this episode was very tasteful, and I respected Gorilla Sensei for that, because a lot of, mangaka, when they get into the aspect of strength and fucking, friendship or family, it always turns into, like, a power-up and shit, and I'm like, ugh, fucking, just get that shit out of here. And I really loved the way Gorilla Sensei dived into Kamui, talking about how he views strength, how he views family, and all that. It just, the way it went about it was tasteful, and I really respected the writing of this episode. But then, though, when Kamui is, like, talking about what is strength, you actually can understand from his viewpoint of why he would have such a warped sense of strength. Because there's a lot of characters I've seen in other shonen that are constantly asking, like, what is strength? Strength is power. Strength is to crush people beneath your feet. That's what people usually think strength is. And then you have the main character come out of nowhere and say, strength isn't about that. It's about family and friendship. And that's usually what a shonen character says. However, Gorilla Sensei didn't kind of necessarily go down the route. He went kind of down the route, but overall, he kind of twisted it a little bit to make it completely different from the normal shonen route, which I just want to say, props, Gorilla Sensei. Good shit. This is why I love Gintama, by the way. It's why I love Gintama, because Gorilla Sensei, he knows how to turn cliches that normally just piss me the fuck off and turn it into something very nice and tasteful, and I can honestly say, well fucking done. So, Kamui's character, from childhood to where he is at now, I now understand why he is like he is, and why he constantly attacks his father, but also why he views his family as not his family in the first place. He shed his family, threw them aside, because he wanted to get stronger and help out his mother. He is a mama's boy. It is something that has been brought up a long time ago, that Kamui is a mama's boy. Now we know why, what he did, and why he acted like he did, but also when he was constantly getting bullied as a younger kid, obviously his sense of strength was just completely destroyed. He didn't know what was really the meaning of being strong, because he didn't know if it meant to be able to beat someone down and shut them the fuck up, or if it meant being strong and just taking a beating, and it just warped his perspective of what strength really meant in the first place. And because of this, that's why he lashed out towards his father, why he attacked him, why he took his father's arm, why he attacked Kagura, why he's acted like he has acted throughout the entirety of Gintama, is because of where he grew up at. And his entire childhood, I'm just gonna be completely frank here, his childhood, where he lived, it was like a shithole. It was really bad. Like, his entire location to where he lived at was pretty fucking trash, because you had people constantly just wanting to beat the shit out of him when he walks down the street or whatever. People are making fun of his mother, obviously his father as well, he constantly had to leave, and he wasn't really explaining, which is understandable, and I feel like, overall Umibozo could have done a little bit better there, but still, he was doing the best of his abilities to be able to help out his wife Koka, and allow her to actually be with her family, and I understand his reasonings for it and why he constantly left. It was because he wanted to gain these crystals to help her out to kind of lengthen her life a little bit more, for she could be able to cherish it with her children and the person she loves. And I understand why he was doing that now, why he constantly had to leave. It wasn't because he didn't care about his family. In fact, he really cared. It seemed like he cast aside his family, but it wasn't completely that. And he actually was there trying to protect his family. He was trying to help them out by leaving constantly to be able to make sure they can, be together a lot longer. And I felt like that was a really clear message to what he was trying to do, his own strength, of how he viewed strength and being strong. And calmly, he always, mistook it as like, oh, his father was running away. He wasn't ever there to help out, and he just left, his wife just to die. And, he was really mad with Umibozo because of that. And now we understand Kamui's point of view, but also Umibozo's as well. Both sides were kind of explaining why they've always been at odds and clashing now. And like I said, because of the way this episode was written, it's something I've seen done before. Not the exact, word for word or whatever, but the way it was changed made me respect the characters and say, even though Kamui is a character type that I've seen so many times beforehand, I can respect the character and actually say, legitimately, that he is definitely in my top 10 favorite characters of Gintama now, because of this episode. Now, let's talk about the death scene, or supposedly the death scene of Umibozo. Now, we don't know necessarily if he is dead yet, because he's just, unconscious, or, he's bleeding out, and I'm going to assume he's going to die. There's so many death flags and stuff that there is a possibility he's dead as fuck, but anything can happen in Gintama. Gorilla Sensei always surprises when it comes to his writing, so we really don't know at this time. Regardless, though, Umibozo, he gets defeated by Utsuro, which was to be expected. I expected that, honestly. I've been saying it the past 2 reviews I've done of Gintama, and I mean, when Utsuro regenerated, it was pretty crazy, actually, because I didn't expect that level of regeneration from Utsuro, because the man's been, healing constantly and stuff. We've seen him be cut in half, or, just wounded really bad, and then he heals him back, but because of this, when he had his arm cut off earlier in the previous episode, when his body got destroyed by, Umibozo, his hand that was attached to the sword grew a new body. That is fucked, because it makes you question what's going on with the head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, remember what happened to Gintoki and everybody in the past, when, Gintoki supposedly killed his sensei. The head was disconnected. So if Utsuro can grow a new body out of just a hand, he could easily grow a new body out of a head. Think about that. So I wonder what's going on with the head right now when it comes to, Utsuro, because that's definitely a mystery now. If he can grow out of his arm, what's going on with that head? So, yeah, apparently Utsuro's ability to regenerate is pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, damn. The man to be able to survive something like that is... It's going to be hard to take a man like that down. I mean, someone like Umibozo and all that, trying to take him down is that much of a struggle? Like, holy shit. But then, what's really crazy about that is that Umibozo, when he thought he took him down and all that, and he just gets stabbed, you see his entire arm just get completely cut off and all that. I'm like, holy shit, this man just got wrecked. Like, this man legit just got fucking wrecked. I'm like, holy fuck, that was savage as hell. So, I feel like this episode of Gintama, it was a very good episode to demonstrate what type of character Kamui is, what Umibozo has done, but also what type of character the mother was, and what type of role she played throughout the series to change these characters and why they acted like they did. And I really respect Gintoki for stepping in and being that brotherly figure to kind of snap some sense into the real brother, which is blood related to Kagura. I really like what he's doing in this episode and how he's standing up to him. Very good scene. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.